They're not
Rich
rich.
people.
They're liabilities to their parents by spending so much
You're
money.
saying they are liabilities? This is the Ellie
And Lee, show.
Show.
Okay, so the next quote is, if all you do is work for someone else, then the result would be no change in your financial struggle with nothing to show for your effort. So I kind of disagree with that to some degree.
Oh, okay.
Because it kind of means that if you work for someone else, then you will have financial struggle.
Okay.
And like, I don't think that's necessarily the case because, if you do get a good job and you're not spending to the point that, it's matching your income. If you just, if you've just set up like your house and your car and everything, and now you save a lot more than what you spend, I don't think you're in a financial struggle. Yeah, but I think this would be more for, I think this would be more for those that are kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So like whatever they earn, they spend.
They spend.
Yeah, and then even if they earn more money, they just spend it on more things. So like I think that would be the case. You'd be trapped in that financial struggle. But then that's not necessarily a result from working for someone else. It's just you not being financially educated or not having the restraint, like not stopping yourself from buying those things.
Okay. For my opinion on this quote is that, like, as you say, it's true. Most people would like to be rich, right?
Yeah.
But there would be certainly some people who can really satisfy with their situation.
Yeah.
Like, as you say, like, they don't really buy some luxuries or, like, maybe they just buy something that is really necessary for themselves and then that doesn't need to be rich.
Yeah, that's true. Because like even in my case, and I guess probably your case, like our parents or the people we've met, like they're our friends' parents. It's not that they, incredibly rich or something like that, but it's more that, they have money that they're saving. They're not in a situation where they need to take out loans or ask people for money and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is kind of an exaggeration.
But like now I think that the book, like this book, like the people who read this book is someone who wants to be a rich. So that's why author is kind of like talking about on behalf of the people who want to be rich.
Yeah, I think it's just like the idea is that obviously the people that want to be rich, but then also the author's style, maybe it's kind of similar to mine, but it's just giving an exaggerated case. Like this is the poor, they don't do these things, don't. So it's saying avoid doing these things. Yeah, it's oversimplified, but it's basically saying avoid doing these things that would definitely result in you being poor, and then try and do the things that would result in you being rich. Yeah.
True. But let me get into my opinion. That wasn't my So like I think like that, like there are some people who just got off from the company, which like even though the company is really good.
Yeah.
So I always didn't get like why they made that kind of choice. But now I grew up and I kind of understand that that's because they want to be rich and they realize that they will never be rich if they just stay in the company.
Yeah.
So that's like why they want to attempt to just start their own business. And for some people, just being in a good company might feel like just being in a very rich palace as a servant.
Okay. Yeah, I think the thing is that yes, the people that leave want to be rich, but it's also that if you're in the same company for like X amount of years, like 10, 15, 20 years, then there's a point where you start to feel like things aren't really interesting or things aren't really changing. And then even though you have that good company, you kind of want to either try things on your own or just try a new field or go to a new company and get that new feeling of challenge. Yeah,
maybe.
Because I think the thing is doing stuff by yourself, like running your own business or your own investing, it's definitely something that requires a lot of work. But at the same time, I think those sort of things can be way more interesting than just having a normal job.
To low neuroticism people.
Yeah, for those
low
that are
neurotic
willing.
people.
For those that are willing.
Yeah, true.
If you're enjoying this video so far,
please like and subscribe. For the last one, the poor tend to buy luxuries first, while the rich choose to buy it last.
Yeah.
I don't really know whether this statement is true or not. It seems like it depends. But if this statement is true, then maybe the rich does not see the reason to show off what they have because they have too much.
No, I think there's
But
lots of reasons that they choose to show off.
yeah, but like I think from Instagram, I show lots of like rich show of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't think that this statement is true.
I think in terms of gaining assets, it's a good thing to keep in mind, because the way I see it is, like, if you can remember, we were talking about delayed gratification before. So the thing is, we all want nice things, whether you rich or poor or middle class, we all want to have those nice things. But like when you choose to get it will affect how much you're able to invest. So if you live, like, let's say when you're in your 20s or 30s, if you choose to live a very simple lifestyle, but then still have like a good job and then invest all the money you get, you know, all the extra money, and then you let it grow, then maybe when you're like in your 40s or something, one, there's a possibility you could retire early, or you could just buy really nice things with that money that you know, worked to grow. Yeah. But then in the case of like Instagram and stuff like that, it's also important to make the distinction that you get a lot of people that are on Instagram showing, you know, how rich they are and what the case may be. But it also could just be their parents' money. No, they're not rich. They're liabilities to their parents. By spending so much
You're
money.
saying they are liabilities to their parents? What the heck? That's mean.
But then the thing is, like, I would say rich people tend, in general, rich people tend to want to show off more than most. Because think about, like, I've seen, like, some really, in my opinion, some dumb YouTube videos where it's like a burger or a pizza that's got gold in it. Like, they put gold leaf in the burger, and then you pay like $1,000 for that burger or something.
Just donate
or like even
me,
chicken.
not to
It's
the
like,
pizza.
yeah, but it's not even that. It's like, it's a pointless show off of that you have money. So I think, yeah, some rich people tend to be, you know, they want to show off more. But then I think the ones that understand, you know, how difficult it may or may not be to make money, then the things that they spend it on might be different. Or the way in which they buy their luxuries are different. Because I know, like, one YouTuber, the way he built up his assets, he built it up such that to the point that he could technically buy a house for free, meaning that his assets were able to pay off the mortgage, but then the value he got on it was really high. So, you know, yeah, but I think that's obviously choosing to buy something last. Yeah. But I think it's the whole concept of what you do with the money you get. If you just work for money and then look at things you can buy, and then as soon as you have enough, you just buy it, then it's kind of obvious
Like
you're not
from
going to
this
grow
quote,
anything.
it doesn't say, like, it means more like the rich is as a possible rich. So the person isn't rich at that moment. So like the person who is gonna be a rich choose to buy it last, right?
Well, that's the way I see it. Please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out.
Thanks for watching. See you.
you.